perspective on your business, and have a great weekend. We look forward to chatting with you again. Well, with that, let's get to our next corporate conversation. And this is an important one because we are all preparing for a scorching summer. With temperatures rising sooner and higher than usual across the country, power generation in the months of January and February has seen a big jump. To discuss what this means for the power sector, for power demand and companies themselves, we have with us now Rajeev Kumar Vishnoi, Chairman and Managing Director at NHPC. Mr. Vishnoi, great to have you on the show. There's so much to talk about, including this mega project at Dibang. I mean, it's, I think, the country's largest hydro project. We'll get to Dibang in a bit, but first, the major headline. We all know that, I think, we were hitting peak power demand in February itself this year compared to the peak we saw in May last year. That's been the extent of the rise. You tell us, how is NHPC looking at the coming months ahead in terms of generation? A lot of the focus obviously is on thermal power plants, imported coal, etc. But what will this massive surge in demand that we are anticipating, what will it mean for NHPC in the coming months?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning, and thank you for having me here on this show. As you know, that demand has been consistently rising for last almost 17, 18 months, demand of power. And we see in some of the months it has been rising at the rate of 10% also. Now, at the same time, we have been adding capacities also. The country has been adding capacity, and this is the reason we could fulfill all of this demand last year also. There was a great surge in demand, and we could satisfactorily fulfill this demand. This year also, we are expecting a very high surge in the demand. And we are all prepared for this. Government has been discussing for the last almost a couple of months, and seeing the particularly the jump in demand in the last 2 months, January and February, as you rightly mentioned. I think we need to be fully prepared, and that is exactly what we are doing. Hydropower projects, particularly from NHPC side, as you mentioned, we are all prepared because the water flow in the rivers has started increasing now. Snow has started melting. And these are the months like April, May, and June, when we'll be having more and more water flow. And of course, the monsoon months will be having a very high inflows in the river. We'll be contributing to the grid, as always, with a lot of green and clean power.
Mr. Vishnoi, sorry, I'm coming in over there because, we will be a little short on time. Can you give us a sense on how much your generation volumes might be better than last year? Because as you mentioned, that these will be critical months, as the summer season starts setting in.
Yeah, in terms of generation, we are expecting this year approximately 7 to 8% more because of the high inflows. Secondly, we are also trying to see that if we can store the seasonal flows, in order to generate more power during the high demand period. So that is another plan which we have at the site at the moment. Next is that regarding the on the larger scale, on the national scale, particularly if you see that the base power mostly in the country comes from the thermal side. So this year also, government has been preparing, to add more and more capacity in the base load, and storing more and more coal from other CPSUs, like I am looking after the THDC also. There also we are having one thermal plant, and we have started storing coal, in order to generate more and more to fulfill this demand. I know this is a great challenge, but our country is now fully equipped at the moment to face this challenge. And this year, the way we have been planning at the government level, I think we don't see any major problem in fulfilling the demand.
Got that. Good morning, sir, and thanks so much for joining in on the show. I want to talk about two projects, the Parbati 2 and the Lower Subansiri. They were expected before FY24, right? But now I understand that Subansiri is being commissioned in the first quarter of FY25. Are there any further risks to these timelines that are giving out?
Yeah, this Subansiri is in the last stage of now getting completed, this project. And 2 units of this project will be commissioning, adding to the grid by the end of June this year. That will be towards the end of first quarter of FY24. And the subsequent, every 3 months, we'll be adding 2 more units every 3 months. So we'll be completing the full capacity in next 1 year or 14 months time. Regarding the Parvati, the first 2 units will be commissioned in the last quarter of FY24. So in a way, these 2 projects will be completed in the coming year, and we'll be adding 2,800 megawatt capacity. That is huge as compared to the 7,100 megawatt capacity what we are operating at the moment currently in NHPC.
So this comes on stream, sir, by the first quarter of FY25.
FY24.
FY24 starts getting commissioned, but the entire chunk comes on stream by the end of FY24, right?
Yes, very true, very true.
So it will be fully available by quarter 1, FY25.
Yeah.
This 2,800 megawatt that you're talking about.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So that is a big capacity which will be adding now the kitty of the NHPC, this organization. And we'll be having more flexibility in offering the solutions to the grid. Because once we have large hydropower capacity, we can bundle it with the available renewable capacity, which is being added in plenty now from all the parts of the country.
Sure.
We are looking
Mr.
at
Vishnoi, apart from these 2 projects, Subansiri and Parvati, which will be getting commissioned and come through in the first quarter of FY25, any other projects that you're looking to commission anytime soon in the next 12 to 18 months?
Yeah, actually we are working on 5 more projects at the same time. Those 5 projects, other than these 2, will start getting commissioned starting from FY25, FY26, and 7. Almost every year we'll be adding 1 project. The way we are now, doing the construction of these projects. So that is one, and there are a couple of big projects like Savalkot and Dibang, as rightly mentioned, which we'll be taking up very shortly, and we are looking at these projects to commission before the year 2031.
So what will the total amount be of these 5 projects, and where does the solar CPSU project feature in that? What kind of timeline are we looking in for that?
The total capacity, other than these 2 projects, what I just mentioned, Subansiri and Parvati 2, which is 2,800 megawatt. If you include this also, we'll be adding 7,000 megawatt, which is under construction at the moment, in another 3 years' time. So we have currently 7,000. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Vishnoi, I just have a question. So we've got some idea about the capacity you're adding. I just want to confirm that number on generation volumes. I believe you said 7 to 8% higher. Now, was that for the 4th quarter? Is that an outlook for the next year? Give us an outlook on generation and a word on Dibang. I mean, this is a massive project and I think the total investments go up to about 34,000 odd crores. Just trying to understand NHPC's role in Dibang. How much money do you have to put in? What is the timeline of commissioning a project as big as this? And what's the revenue potential from Dibang?
See, the total cost of the project is around 34,000 crores, as you mentioned, and the capacity is 2,880 megawatt. So we'll be generating something like 15 to 17 billion units annually from this project alone, and which is quite huge. We'll be putting something like 10,000 crores of equity in a period of 8 years. So you can say that around 1,300 odd crores, 1,500 crores every year.
Mr. Vishnoi, just trying to understand, the total project cost is 34,000 crores. How much do you put in what stages? The potential is huge. By when do you see this commissioning? When do we start getting the returns in the books, basically?
We'll be starting construction this year only. In fact, from next month, next month. And the total construction period is 9 years. So the first unit will be commissioned after 9 years. So that we can say year 2032, we'll be commissioning the first unit. So other than the power generation, this has a lot of water storage component also. So this is a strategic project for the country, and very shortly we'll be starting this project.
Okay, couple of quick numbers. Got it. Couple of quick numbers, sir. Regulated equity you mentioned. I think the last time we chatted, you said that from around 13,000 crores, it goes to around 22,000 crores. Holding on to that number, that by FY24 end, we'll have regulated equity at around 22,000 crores?
Yeah, I missed your voice.
The regulated equity, sir. The regulated equity that you were briefly mentioned, that moves to 22,000 crores, right? In the next couple of years, that's by the end of FY24. From 13,000 crores, it will go to around 22,000 crores?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And also, what about the targets for FY25? I think the street was working with around 15,000 crores of revenues. with 5,000 crores of net profit. Doable?
Yes. That is the outlook we are having for FY25.
15,000 crores on the top line, 5,000 crores on the bottom line for FY25. It's been good speaking to you. It's been good speaking to you, sir. Thanks so much for giving us your sense in terms of capacity addition, regulated equity, as well as your targets for FY25. On that note, though, we'll slip into a short break because the markets are trading sharply lower. Mitesh Thakkar will be waiting for us on the other side.